Good evening to parents and students of Year 10. My name is Mr. Geoff Grace. I'm the head of senior school at Flinders Christian Community College, Carrum Downs campus. And I'd like to welcome you warmly to this unique online Pathways Expo for 2020. A lot of things have changed this year, obviously, with the pandemic. But one thing which remains the same is our desire to see our Year 10 students really take the opportunities that the Pathways journey offers to grow in confidence, to grow in purpose and a sense of direction as they head towards 2021 into Year 11, whatever Year 11 might look like for them. And the Pathways Expo tonight is really just the first stage in that formal program, which I shall briefly overview for you in the next few minutes. The Pathways program really is just a part of Flinders' vision to be a transformative Christian learning community. Part of transformation involves transformation of our mind, of our learning and growing and building up a knowledge base about whatever it is that we are tackling. And so the information we share tonight will be an important part of that journey of transformation, of increasing our understanding of what does Year 11 and 12 look like, and what are the options, and how do you choose, and where are we heading with all of this? But another vital part of transformation is inspiration. You know, the longing to grow, the longing to move forward, not to be stuck, not to be static. And so I trust that the Pathways Expo will also be inspirational as well as informational for parents and students. One of my favorite quotes is by a French author called Antoine de SaintExupery, which is probably totally not how you pronounce it, so I apologize for my bad French. But his quote is wonderful. He says, "If you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to gather wood, divide the work and give the orders. Instead, teach them to yearn for the vast and endless sea." And I'd love to see our Year 10 students really wanting to explore their options for the future, not just as a set of tasks to tick off or another job to accomplish, but as an open opportunity to explore who are they, how has God hardwired them, what gifts and talents has God given them, and what are they passionate about in terms of how they can learn and serve and make a difference in the world. There's the inspirational part. The information will come after that, I'm absolutely convinced. So back to tonight. I trust that this last week you'll have received an informational brochure, a brochure which gives an overview of the Pathways program. But let me reiterate the key steps for you. So it starts obviously tonight. One of the benefits of this video format obviously is that you can watch the videos that will be uploaded any number of times if you want to get more and more of an understanding of the Pathways journey. Then over the next few days, you'll be able to discuss the options of what Year 11 and 12 looks like between student and parents, and really look at, you know, what are the key options? Well, the key options are VCAL, Victorian Certificate of Applied Learning, or VCE. And in between those, there are options to do a vocational program, VET programs. And our speakers, our key speakers, which I'll go into a little bit more detail in a minute, really cover those areas really well as our faculty leaders giving you a bit more of an information about what's coming up. The web preferencing is important. It gives us an indication of what each Year 10 student is thinking, but also gives us an idea of which subjects are likely to be offered going into next year. So it serves a multiplicity of purposes, the web preferencing. And then obviously after that comes the one-on-one discussions between students and parents and a senior member of the senior school staff, just to look at, is this a good fit? Is what the student is putting forward, does it fit well with their interests, with their abilities, with their aspirations? And that starts to cement that together really well. The rest of the presentations have been put together by a number of staff. As I mentioned, VCE presentation by Mrs. Kinsis, the VCE coordinator. The VCAL presentation by Mrs. Jackie Hodder. The VET presentation by Mrs. Del Rosario, who's also the Year 12 coordinator. We've also got the heads of faculty who have put together a very interesting and eclectic assortment of videos about their particular faculty areas. And again, you'll be able to watch these a number of times to satisfy your interest in what the different faculty areas are actually covering, but also to give an idea about is VCAL or VCE the better option for your son or daughter. So that's really the broad outline, I guess, of where we're heading. Not to forget, of course, the 2021 course guide, which you will be given an electronic copy of. It's 100+ pages of information, which goes into much more detail about VCE, VCAL, VET, distance ed, very thoroughly looks at all of the VC subjects that we would like to offer if there's sufficient interest. And really it's only as, can I stress the fact that it's up to the Year 10s to give a very good indication, not a final decision, but a good indication about the subjects they'd like to study, which will help us decide what to actually offer these same students going into next year. So please prioritise the completion of the web preferencing over the next week and a bit, really. And I'd like to finish with a word of prayer. My prayer is that the important transition for Year 10s from Year 10 to Year 11 is one that will see real maturity and growth as our students head into their 2 final important years of schooling. And I pray they'll come to a greater realisation that as part of the Flinders community, that God is in the midst of our educational journey. It's in Him that we live and move and have our being. And my prayer is that each family, each student, each parent knows the reality of that and is going to seek godly wisdom in how those decisions are made around Year 10 to 11 to 12 and beyond. And that's where I'll finish. All the best with the rest of the night. Thank you for watching and taking this in.